G'day guys, Steve Morgan here from Australian Bass Tournaments at the conclusion of round 8 of the Costa BREAM series. This was the Daiwa Qualifier on Lake Macquarie in New South Wales, and as always happens in ABT event, an angler sponsored by the company sponsoring the event has won the event. Kris Hickson, it was a nearly half-kilo win to you this weekend, and it's an event where only, I think, 4 or 5 anglers caught their full bag of 10 out of 10. It was windy, it's wintertime, the water's cold. How do you adapt to those sort of conditions?
It actually wasn't as tough as I thought it was going to be on pre-fish. I expected to come down here and there to be bulk fish in the deep water. Lots of people doing that and struggling to find them on the edges and structure like we normally do, but come pre-fish I got a couple deep pretty easy. I went and mainly I used the electric and my sounders for the pre-fish. I side imaged with the Humminbird Mega under all the boats, off the edges of the flats and in the deep water, and what I couldn't do there, I'd just be flat out on the electric cruising banks trying to find fish, and saw plenty, and when you saw them most of the time you were catching them. So that was basically using the time and tide. I worked a bit by the moon too because I wanted to fish shallow, so I knew the moon times were definitely going to be the bite times, and that's how it worked out. So I just kept fishing. I just fished heaps of stuff until I found the stuff they were on, and today that was literally 5 different bits of structure, and that was it.
Now, it's been a real streak of hot form for you. You've won the event on the Hawkesbury and now at Lake Macquarie, a couple of your sort of home waters. Are you going to be able to make it 3 from 3 at Southwest Rocks at a new venue?
Southwest Rocks is a bit of an unknown for me now. It's been a long time since I've fished much there, and the social aspect of fishing there is going to be completely different to tournament. I think it's going to fish a lot like the Manning. I think everyone's going to have a good pre-fish because there's a lot of fish and a lot of big fish in the place. Not a lot of structure. There's a lot of walls, and I think the first day will get tougher and the second day will get tougher again. So being a smaller system with not a lot of offshoots, there's one main river and some racks and a couple of creeks. I think it's going to play out tough, but hopefully the cranker crabs and walls aren't the only go-to in that place. There's plenty of structure and racks and creeks there, so it'll be fun, and there's no doubt it'll be fun.
Now, let's go through your game plan this weekend. I said grab the lure that you used to win this event, and he grabbed 4 or 5. So just run us through what you used.
So up in the deep, first up, in the northern end of the lake, both mornings, I was just throwing a 6-ounce TT switchblade. I can't remember the colour. It's brown with an orange belly, staple, deep water colour for this place. And it was fishing really well. I got that 1.4 on it the first morning, but it got eaten by flathead, as basically every other blade I threw did, and that was it for that. But then I went to the flats most of the rest of the days, cranked little camions, Smith camions, chubbies, and just whatever looked right at the time. I hooked a couple of fish on a stick minnow yesterday. Today that kind of saved me as well. There was a couple of fish feeding on some bait fish on the top around some shags. Through that, one ate it, so that was nice. As always, got to have a cranker crab tied on. That actually, well, they all saved me today. I got one fish on that yesterday. Didn't fish a lot of hard structure. Threw it one morph today. It got eaten, which was great. And then the last one was on an aqua. I went to 2 trees that I'd seen every day. Had some shags in it, 6 inches of water, and I got nothing else, so I might as well go and have a look. And I actually threw the stick minnow at first and thought, you're an idiot, why are you throwing a stick minnow at things that are eating poo? And then went to the next tree, threw it, nothing, but this half-blind one was swimming along the bank and came over and ate it, so that was my last fish for the day. So it was proper junk fishing. I fished 30 spots today, and yeah, most of it was crap, but pulled it off.
Now, tell us about the rod and reel you're using. The event sponsored by Daiwa. You sponsored by Daiwa. Obviously, you're using some of their new gear. Is that some of the new J-Braid Grand on that reel?
Yeah, the J-Braid, I think that's actually 8 pound on that. It's, even though it says on the packet it's not that thin, it's thinner than I thought it was going to be. It's actually a really nice line. I'd played with it for probably 12 months from 6 to 50 pound, and been through a few of the samples, a few of the different ones they were looking at, and the final sample's definitely the best of them. I fished, basically there was 11 rods on the deck, and I threw every single one of them through the weekend. As you can see by using 5 different lures, I'm not going to throw them all on the same rod, but this is the one I threw the cranker crab on. The Sol LTs now have the best drag that I was ever done, so those little tiny hooks with a really smooth drag and that new J-thread leader, I only threw 4 pounder in the docks, and it went around heaps of poles and it held up. So the whole combo was pretty well spot on for throwing those crabs in there.
Awesome. Any of your other sponsors you want to thank?
Yeah, all of them. Fish Flicks for helping us out this year and the last year. A bit of cash to get us around. TTs for supplying all my jig heads, Z-Man plastics, the whole kit. They've been awesome forever. Daiwa, Hobie. They've been a massive help over the last 6 years for us as well. Big thanks to ABT as usual. Hummingbird Minn Kota. The mega imaging was awesome here on the pre-fish. I was electric along with the 2 units link, side image from the back, and using my eyes to see fish under the boats, and the side imaging to see what was deep under the boats. And every time I saw a fish up on top, there was a big school underneath it as well. So I just marked them and went. Not that it worked, I didn't catch anything off it, but yeah. So thanks to all those guys, and yeah, ABT for another awesome tournament.
Awesome. We hope you guys at home enjoyed the curated live stream and all the live streaming from underwater. We enjoy bringing you this coverage, and we're going to catch up with you at Southwest Rocks.